This video is about the worst case relationship scenarios. There are 4 possible worst case scenarios that can happen to you in your relationship that possibly you need to be really prepared for. And to find out what those 4 scenarios are, please stay tuned to this video. Welcome to the SCG Show, the home of education entertainment, and please do me a favor, if you really enjoyed this video, smash that like button. I would really appreciate it. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. That's my motto, and that's how I choose to live my life. I choose to live in the real world and not in the fake fantasy world that is social media, reality TV. Let me make something really clear to you. Relationships are tough. As is life. It's not set to be a picnic, and whoever told you otherwise was lying to you. Whatever you see on TV, movies, social media is not real life. Couples occasionally bicker and fight, have disagreements and problems, have different standards, goals, and sometimes those goals change. They have to go through financial problems, health issues, and other woes. I know this may sound a tad negative, but I'm trying to be extremely real with you. Most people go into a lot of relationships blind as a bat, crossing their fingers and hoping for the best, and that never happens. And the moment things get tough, they walk away, start a new relationship, and just plod along, only to repeat the process over and over and over again, never learning from their mistakes or why they keep attracting certain people. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, but somehow expecting different results. If you're watching this video right now, not to toot my own horn, but I salute you. You're probably mentally preparing yourself for the possibility of the worst happening in your relationship. When tragedy or life happens to us, again, for no fault of our own, we have 2 choices. We can either sink or we can swim. I strongly suggest you learn how to swim when life happens to you, metaphorically speaking. I've seen people sink in a crisis and never come back. So kudos to you for taking the time out to prepare yourself and watch this video. But also put your mind at rest, knowing that the worst can happen. I've taken the time to research these 4 scenarios to hopefully help you understand better how to tackle each one if they were to happen. So here are 4 worst case relationship scenarios. Number 1, you break up. Regardless of the state of your relationship at the moment, what is the first worst case scenario that can happen? You break up, you split, you divorce. Yes, I know there are costs of divorce, but for the sake of argument, let's just focus on a regular breakup for now. If you're currently feeling any anxiety or stress over the future of your relationship, there is a chance you are worried about breaking up. This is not a good thing nor a good sign. You found yourself to become possibly too reliant on your partner, especially if you're not married or have kids. A guy I know was head over heels for his partner, so much so that he gave everything up in his life for her. He gave up his career, his education to spend more time with her. He gave up all of his friends. He even disowned his family. He went all in on the love of his life. As time went on, they rented a flat together, and suddenly he realized he no longer had no life. He had no stable job, no education, no friends, no family, no hobbies, nothing. And just his girlfriend, who was just as useless as he was. And suddenly he thought, oh no, if I lose her, I've got nothing in my life. He did everything in his power to keep her and was naturally very insecure. She sensed this and was obviously growing very tired of him. And one fateful day, she decided to break up with him as, she said, I no longer find you attractive anymore. Lost and without a friend in the world, this guy crumbled to his knees, aka he sank instead of swam. It took him 5 years to piece his life back together again, only for him to repeat the same mistake with the next woman he fell in love with. The worst case scenario of your relationship is you breaking up, and it's a very good possibility that you might break up. But if all your eggs are in your relationship basket, aka you're all in, you have more to lose. Get your life together. Your relationship does not define you alone. One of the most talked about issues in relationships, of course, is that of cheating. I'm afraid they're going to cheat on me. I think they're cheating on me. They are eventually going to cheat on me. Cheating is an overly complicated issue for many different reasons. A woman I know started dating a man who was actually with another woman when they first met. He was regularly cheating on his then girlfriend with this woman. Eventually, he broke up with his girlfriend and started dating the woman I know. However, over time, she realized he was growing more and more distant and colder. And naturally, her mind went, maybe he'll cheat on me. Well, he cheated on someone to date you, so it's very possible. Once a cheater, always a cheater. And of course, he was caught cheating on her. Here is another scenario. A guy I know was dating one of the most beautiful women in his local area. She liked him for who he was, and they had great chemistry. However, the guy was extremely insecure. He was programmed to believe he would never be good enough for such a beautiful partner. He had low self-esteem, confidence, and he kept accusing this woman of cheating on him when there was no evidence. You're just going to leave me for someone else and cheat on me, is what he kept saying to her. Eventually, she grew tired of his accusations, and with a heavy heart, despite how much she liked him, she broke up with him. So in this case, they broke up, but not for the reason that he assumed. She never had or wanted to cheat on him. She was extremely loyal, but he pushed her away. Understand those two stories very differently. One is of a guy that was a serial cheater anyway, and you need to do the research on the red flags and signs to look out for with a cheater. And usually narcissists are huge cheaters as well. And the other story is all about insecurity, aka believing you're not good enough for your partner, putting him on a pedestal and so on. Do not do this. It is unattractive, it is dangerous and detrimental. Are you enjoying this video? If you are, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. Another scenario you need to understand is you may get scammed by your partner. It's not really ever talked about, but it happens so much. And by scammed, I mean they're using you for your money, your resources. They see you as a meal ticket, a home, and this happens so often. A wealthy widow I know started dating a man who claimed to be an investment banker. He was well groomed, quite witty, quite smart, charming. However, he never offered to pay and made out he would always pay her back. Foolishly, the widow married this man, who hardly paid anything for the wedding at all. Then one day, she secretly decided to follow him as he was off to work, to which she found this said man in the park with a briefcase, staring at the pond feeding ducks. He never had a job, no money, he lied. He tried to divorce the widow for her fortune, to which he failed miserably. Here's another example. A successful man started dating a narcissistic woman who was a beautiful, she was a model, gorgeous woman. She sold him the dream. She would be his wife, they'd have kids, and they would live happily ever after. But like the other scam artists, she never paid for anything, was always secretive and kept her cards close to her chest. And then they got married, to which again, she never contributed at all. And when they were about to buy a home, she said her money was completely tied up. She also lied about her job. She was unemployed, claimed benefits and was lazy, and sponged off her parents who weren't that wealthy at all. Her goal was to divorce her husband and try and get as much money from him as possible. She failed. As I always say, narcissists do lose in the end. This is a vitally important worst case scenario to take note of. Sadly, there are people out there looking for a free ride, a free meal ticket. That's men and women. They only love you for your money, your home, your status, your car, whatever. Identify those red flags and be so careful. ASAP. The final worst case scenario for your relationship is that the person you are dating, whatever, married to, is a complete waste of time. And of course, your life as well. Meaning that they never really want the same goals as you and you're just going nowhere. They are like coasters, floating along in life, plodding along, hoping things fall onto their laps with little to no effort. They may live for today and they never even plan for tomorrow, let alone the future. They are dreadful with their finances and never save, and you can't really work with someone like that. They are terrified of committing or getting engaged or having kids because of commitment phobias or other stupid insecurities. They are basically a complete waste of time, and usually they can be narcissists, sociopaths, liars, cheaters, scam artists, weirdos, so on and so forth. Basically anybody who is not on the same wavelength as you. If you want marriage and they don't, You'll find it very hard to convince them, and if you do convince them, they'll be resentful. And they may end up wasting your best years of your life trying to bend their arm and convince them into something that they should do if they love you. A woman I know dated a man for 10 years trying to convince him to get married. However, the man insisted from the very beginning he never wanted to get married, but he loved her and he liked being with her. So she is as much to blame there as him. Stop wasting your time with the wrong people. Always remember, you will never be good enough for the wrong person. Thank you so much for watching.